Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So our next video is about the structure of heart and cardiac cycle. We will discuss about the morphology first of all, about the structure of heart, and then we will discuss about the cardiac cycle. What is cardiac cycle? So let's see the structure of heart. You know, heart is a muscular pump made up of cardiac muscles. It's nothing but it's like muscle. And its major function is to pump, providing force to circulate the blood in the vessel throughout the body for the purpose of transportation of nutrients and removal of waste product. So then see the structure of heart. Human mammalian heart normally composed of four important chambers, two upper chambers, two are the lower chambers. So if you see the like this is my right side, so I'm just mentioning as my right side here, and this is the left side. If here the partition, you can see this wavy line, which the medium line in the heart. So this is the left side, and this is the right side. Now that's why we say that upper two chambers, either you are talking about the left or right, it is collectively known as the atria. So atria is the plural for both the atrium, because one is the right atrium and one is the left atrium, both sides of the green line. This is the left atrium, and this is the right atrium, and collectively these are known as atria. So atria is the upper chamber of the heart. I mean, two chambers, both collectively known as the atria. So one is the right atrium and one is the left atrium. And then just chambers just on this wavy line on the left side and on the right side, these are known as right ventricle and left ventricle. So collectively we known as ventricles. So now two sides of the heart, I mean two chambers of the heart initially. The upper chambers are called atria and the lower chambers are known as ventricles. And the septum in between the heart further classify these two sides as on the right or on the left. So on the left side it's on the left ventricle, and the right ventricle, the left atrium and the right atrium. So we have four chambers now. And there are many blood vessels which are connecting with the heart, but we have to focus on four important blood vessels because we have four chambers, so we have four blood vessels. One, aorta. Two, vena cava. Aorta, vena cava, pulmonary artery, and pulmonary vein. Four blood vessels connecting with the four chambers. Aorta is connected. You can see this aorta, and this green line is like an imaginary line which tells you how this blood vessel is connected to the left ventricle. It means this connectivity of in the aorta. So aorta is directly, flow of blood direction is like from ventricle into the aorta, from the left ventricle. The next one is the right atrium. You can see this is the aorta. Now the atrium is connected with this chamber, and this chamber is the right atrium. So vena cava is connected with the right atrium, connected with the left ventricle. So next one is the pulmonary artery. Which chamber is connected with the pulmonary artery? And this pulmonary artery brings deoxygenated blood toward the lungs. Here is in alveolus. The red line shows the oxygenated blood and the black one shows the deoxygenated blood. So you know it's moving. These red lines basically shows, these red lines just to, it's like somewhat to tell you that these red line shows the continuation of this pulmonary artery on the back side of the heart here in the right ventricle. So the right ventricle is connected with the pulmonary artery. Three chambers, three blood vessels. Left ventricle, aorta. Right atrium, vena cava. right ventricle, pulmonary artery. And the last one, of course, this one, the red one, which is called the pulmonary vein, which brings blood from the lungs into the heart back. And it opens here in this chambers. And this chamber is known as the left atrium. So left atrium is connected with the pulmonary vein. There are some which, because the right sides contain deoxygenated blood. Here we have out in the heart. It is the basically we just have to mention like here. So it's a deoxygenated blood in the right side. Both, if either you are talking atrium or ventricle, both contains the deoxygenated blood, the right side of the heart. And here in the left side, here, either you're talking about the ventricle or you're talking about the atrium, both on the left side. Here, this is the oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. And here, this is the boundary. Here is the pulmonary artery side, and here the pulmonary vein side to bring the blood oxygenate. So here, exchange of gases takes place in the lungs to bring oxygen back to the heart. Now, in this complete system, 4 chambers are connected with the 4 blood vessels. We have valves system. We have some valve system. How many valves we have here now? We have a total of 6 valves. But we classify this valve system into 2 categories. One is called atrioventricular valves. I mean, the valves which connect the atrium with ventricle. The atrium with ventricle. The atrium with ventricle. These 2 valves are known as atrioventricular. One is called tricuspid, and the other one is called mitral valve. It is in the left side and it is in the right side. So tricuspid valve. This is the tricuspid valve. You can see the labeled here. This is the tricuspid valve to connect the right atrium with the right ventricle. And here is the mitral valve. I have mentioned. Yes, this is the here is the mitral valve, and this mitral valve connecting the left atrium with the left ventricle. So 2 valves here, and now we have some valves like we called semi-lunar valves. Semi-lunar valves are total 6 in number. There are 6. Oh, sorry. Oops. These are 4. There are 4 semilunar valves because we have 4 blood vessels, and each blood vessels have a semilunar valves, and these 2 are present not in the blood vessel but in the chamber of the heart. So there are 2 valves in the chamber of the heart known as the atrioventricular valves, which one of the tricuspid and the one is the mitral valve. And the rest of the 6 blood vessels, like here, yes, here is the valve. This is called semilunar valve. Yes, we have here. This is also called semilunar valve, both in the aorta and in the vena cava, semilunar valves. Yes, here we have this semilunar valve in the pulmonary artery. And yes, we have here this semilunar valve in the pulmonary vein. So pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, aorta, and vena cava have 4 semilunar valves. And 2 valves in the heart chambers, one in the right side and one in the left side. This is a brief morphology of the heart, how the heart structure is can be labeled by different structures. So this is all about the structure of the heart. And now we will move toward the cardiac cycle and the mechanism how this heart muscles work. But all these things which we have discussed, actually this is the internal view of the heart, because Heart is a closed system, and inside the heart we discuss all these chambers. But basically heart is completely made up of muscles. So the walls outside, it's like the cut side. If you just make it like in this way, so the muscles of the heart will be supplied by the blood to make it active, because muscle also consists of tissues, consists of cells, and they should be alive. They should also need oxygen. So most of the blood capillary is always in the heart muscles, which are called coronary blood vessels, which provide oxygen and glucose for the activity of the heart muscles. So this is all about the structure, and now about the cardiac cycle in the next video.